Hey there, Andrew here. I love to be entertained, but I have no patience. So I give every new show I watch only one episode to hook me. Welcome to Debut Review. I don't like kids. Which is why I have been, for 30 years, quite disappointed that Jurassic Park always has kids in it. I could do without them. First Jurassic Park movie had 2 kids in it. Second Jurassic Park movie had 1 kid in it. That's a downward trend I like. But then it flattened out with the 3rd movie, which had another 1 kid in it. And then it went right back up with the 4th Jurassic Park movie, which had 2 kids in it. And then the 5th movie had 1 kid in it. And then they did a Jurassic Park short, which had a kid and a baby in it. Now, I'm not saying that children make the Jurassic Park movies bad. No, because some of the Jurassic Park projects I just mentioned are really, really good. Some of them are not so good. But they all have children in it, so it's not the children that's making or breaking these projects. That said, I still don't want them there. I like dinosaurs. This is going to sound harsh, because this is harsh. But if I believed for a second that any of these kids in any of these movies were at any point in any danger, I'd be okay with it. If you don't have to kill the kids, wouldn't mind if you do. It's one of the reasons I like the remake of The Blob. Because that kid gets killed, and that kid's like 12 or 13, and he gets totally killed. Little girl in the beginning of Assault on Precinct 13. She gets shot point blank in the chest. It's great. Because when you do that, it's like, oh, anything goes. And again, I want to be clear, you don't have to kill the kids. You just have to make me believe that the kids could get at. But I don't believe they could get at, or even significantly injured. So all the tension is gone. And again, tension is not the only thing these movies have going for it, but still, all of them have kids in it. Could we, well, I don't want to speak for anyone else, but could I have one, just one? Could I have one, just one Jurassic Park movie or short or cartoon series that doesn't have any kids? Just one. All the rest of the projects from now till the end of time, all the rest of the Jurassic Parks, they can all have kids on it. All I'm asking for is just one Jurassic Park with no kids. Just one. Please. Pretty please. Is that too much to ask? Well, Netflix has heard my call, and they said no. Here's Jurassic Park, Camp Cretaceous. It's got 6 kids in it, because it's about a children's camp at Jurassic Park. Suck on it. At least that's what I imagine the creative process behind this series was, because it's all about me. So it's Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, not Jurassic Park Camp Cretaceous. Shame on me. Show description reads 6 teens. 6 teens invited to attend a state-of-the-art adventure camp on Isla Nublar must band together to survive when the dinosaurs break out of captivity. Well, no need to reinvent the wheel with this premise, right? I don't believe that any of these kids are going to get killed or seriously hurt. They might stub their toe or get a cut on their cheek or forearm or shoulder or something, but Yeah. Now, granted, I'm saying this sight unseen. Maybe the show will do a great job convincing me that these kids could die. Again, they don't have to die. I just, as a viewer, have to believe that bad things could happen. Because otherwise, no tension. But even if there's no tension, there's going to be dinosaurs, right? And, well, that goes a long way. So, Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Show me what you got. I see one of two possibilities here. One, this show has a remarkably low budget or compressed production schedule. Or two, it's been sitting on a shelf for 10 years. This is not a particularly modern looking show by contemporary CG standards, even by the CG standards of contemporary television series is. Yeah, it's not bad, but it just looks old. I mean, it's possible that this was made as a tie-in series to Jurassic World, which came out in 2015, so 5 years ago. So, yeah, that would have meant this was made 7 years ago. Or maybe 8 years ago, and it was meant to be a tie-in to the upcoming movie, because I have to imagine this is canonically takes place before the events of Jurassic World, because if Jurassic Park 5, Lost World 2, Fallen Kingdom 1, if I'm remembering that movie correctly, the events of Jurassic World killed the park, right? You know, the dinosaurs broke out, trashed everything, a lot of people died. I was going to say, I don't think anyone would send their kids there, but they would. No, we're... Collectively, we are terribly terrible. We totally keep going to the park with the dinosaurs that eat you. I mean, they've had, in less than 3 decades, 5 major disasters. 3 of which spilled out onto the mainland. Am I counting that right? 3, right? Yeah, because in Jurassic Park 2, they had the T-Rex goes rampaging through San Diego. Jurassic, one of them they're flying away and they see pterodactyls flying next to them. And in Fallen Kingdom, all the dinosaurs come to the mainland and get let out and are now mingling with the populace. And I guess the short film, whatever it was called, off topic. Anyway, the show is terrible. I mean, this is phenomenally bad. And it's not bad because it has kids in it. That doesn't help. It's just bad. I mean, it's really, really bad. And not because the animation looks like it's 10 years old. Again, it's not bad. It just looks old. The bad animation and the kids are not why this show is really, really bad. It's just genuinely really poorly thought out. Filmmakers. Hi, I'm Andrew. I don't know anything, but I have some advice that I'm going to offer you from my armchair. Number 1. Do you have a video game in your movie? Are you Does a video game factor into part of the plot, especially? Please, for the love of God, find someone, anyone who has ever played a video game. Your portrayal of video games in this first episode is embarrassing. It is so clear that you have absolutely, utterly no earthly clue what video games are or how they work, or how anyone interacts with them. I'm sure you've seen a picture of a video game controller and like a VR headset, and that's it. That's not enough. Gamers are legion. We're ubiquitous. We are all over the place. It should not be hard to find one of us. To just cast a sidelong glance and say, oh, that's not even close to how video games work. Zip lines. Do you have zip lines in your movie? Please, for the love of God, find someone, anyone, ever, who's been on a zip line. Please. Boy, I'm taking this children's show really seriously. I should lighten up. So, our hero Darius? Something like that. He wants to go to Camp Cretaceous, which is a kids' camp at Jurassic World. And again, I'm assuming the big disaster in the 2015 movie hasn't happened yet. But even if it had, you know, maybe not. Maybe it's not a plot hole. It's been 5 years. We rebuilt. It's safe now. You can trust us. Give us your money. I'm sure it's fine. So Jurassic World, or Engine, or whoever the hell owns the park, has pulled a Willy Wonka and has put out a VR video game, and whoever can beat the video game gets a free ticket to Camp Cretaceous. Okay, that would never happen, sure. But, so our hero Darius, I think, he's playing this thing, and it feels like he's been playing this thing for a while now. Not like all evening, but like he's been trying it for days. That's not a good way to do a right. We all figured out PT in like 30 minutes, and that's way more obscure than the solution in this video game is. The solution in this video game is use an item. Yeah, gamers the world over would have figured that out right quick. Also, the game doesn't play anything like any video game ever does. Again, if you're gonna put video games in your movie or whatever, please have someone familiar with what video games are and how they work. Because you annoy me when you don't. And you don't want to do that. It's all about me, remember. Zip lines. One at a time, guys. You don't put 6 people on a zip line at the same time. It's not safe. Nobody does that. Don't do that. Now, I would have excused that if there were some narrative reason to do that. There's a herd of herbivores going across, and they're like, oh, we'll zip line over the herbivores. Oh, that's neat. And so they're riding along in their zip lines. Oh, the majesty, da 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 da. John Williams' score is the best part because it's good. Nothing else is good. But they used a good score, so that's something. So not only do they have all six kids out on the zip line at the same time, the zip line is low enough that if you're fairly unlucky, you could zip line right into the side of a brachiosaur's head. That's ill-conceived. I wouldn't actually put that past Jurassic Park / Jurassic World / Camp Cretaceous. Hey, we've got dinosaurs running around in the open. You think we should lock the kids in the building at night? Think we should post some like guards or security cameras to watch over them? You know, because they're kids, they're stupid, they're going to sneak out at night even in a dinosaur-filled park. Nah. Okay, sure. Kids, you do realize that there's dinosaurs here. So the kids are touring the island, and what looks like a raptor crosses the road. And the two camp counselors get out with the stun sticks. That's not going to do you a hell of a lot of good if that's a raptor, kids. But from the other side of the car, a Compsognathus jumps into the car and lands on Darius's chest. And it's played like, oh, the majesty of the dinosaurs, it's so cute. That's a carnivore. It bites. And its bite is poisonous. That's Jurassic Park lore. That's what that animal is. And they capture, and they, throw a blanket over it and stick it in a cage. And like, yeah, damn compies, they keep getting out. I'm like, wow. You invited kids here even though the Compsognathus keep getting out routinely? Anything else keeps getting out? Darius, you're the big dinosaur nerd. You obviously recognize this damn thing. Are you not concerned it's going to bite you in the face? They're poisonous. I mean, you're going to survive if there's only one. In the book, the bites just essentially, are like a narcotic. They just put you to sleep so they can swarm and eat you. One is not going to do that much to you. Probably going to feel woozy. Might even pass out. But if there's only... And so they drive to the camp. And it's like, no, I wanted to see the compy up close. It's like, it was standing on your chest, Darius. Did you not get a close? You stared straight down its gullet. So, he and two of the other kids sneak out at night, because they're kids, of course they do. They have absolutely no problems. Again, apparently there's no door person. The doors aren't even locked. They just walk outside and then run down the road to where they guess the compy pen is. And they're like, here we are at the compy pen. This humongous enclosure that's 40 feet tall, has gigantic bars like this far apart. Compies are like the size of a chicken. The bars are this far apart. Does that look like a compy enclosure to you? Hey, you see the sign with the big claws and the circle and the slash through it? No? Have you not seen any of the Jurassic Park movies, kids? It's a raptor pen. It's a raptor pen. So, one of the kids has a phone. It's like, ooh, I'm going to take a video. And it's like, oh, I can get a better video. And they drop the phone over the side of the viewing platform. So it lands on the ground between the outer wall of the enclosure and the inner cage that encloses the raptors. So there's a cage where the raptors are, and then there's like a 15-foot space, and then there's a big concrete wall surrounding the whole thing. So the phone lands between the cage and the concrete wall. So one of the kids climbs down there and grabs the phone. He's on the other side of the cage. He's fine. Dun 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 dun. Boom 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 boom. He's on the other side of the cage. Oh no, something's moving in the grass. He's on the other side of the cage. Oh no, this isn't the compy pen. Yeah, no shit, it's not the compy pen. It's way too damn big. The bars are too far apart. Did I mention it's way too big? Come on, man. There is no possible way anyone, especially a kid really familiar with dinosaurs, would mistake this as the compy pen. Oh no, it's a raptor pen. Yeah, but again, he's not in the cage. He's outside of the cage. I mean, I don't believe these kids are going to get hurt anyway, but he physically can't get hurt. He's not in the cage. So he says, oh, I'm just going to take a picture of a copy, and he sticks the camera in the cage. I'm like, oh, well, okay, he might get his arm torn off now if he gets surprised. But he doesn't get surprised because he sees the raptor, and he's like, uh-oh. Just pull your arm in. You're still on the opposite side of the cage. The dinosaur, the raptor lunges at him and he jumps back. Oh gosh! He's still not in the cage. He's fine. We've got to do something. We have to get down there and help him. Why? He's not in the cage. He's perfectly safe. There is a cage between the raptors and him. He's not in the cage. I feel this is important to point out. He's not in the cage with the raptors. Metal bars, raptors, kid. They can't get at him. There's no tension here. This doesn't work. Who made this? It's not the kids. If these were adults, this wouldn't work. He's in no danger. There's a damn cage there. He's not in the cage. Well, one of the kids says, oh, we've got to save him, and they hit a button and the cage opens. Okay, well, now he's in danger because you opened the cage. Granted, she probably thought it might have opened the outer wall door, and it might have, but it did not. So now the cage is open, and now the dinosaur can get at him. So now is when you should, kick in the suspenseful music and such. So Darius stomps on a pipe, which is like that thick, but enough to break the damn thing. That's not built very well now, is it? And it throws some steam into the raptor pen. Okay. Now what? And so he gets down there somehow. I guess he jumped and didn't break his legs. But now he's down there with the other kid. And there's raptors that don't seem to be really that concerned about the steam because not much steam came out of the pipe. What are we going to do now? I don't know. That's the end of episode 1. The vocal performances are fine. The kids we got an interesting group of kids. We've got 2 camp counselors and 6 kids. We've got Darius, who's the lead of the show, who's a dinosaur enthusiast. We've got a rich kid whose parents own, condos on... I guess they contracted some of the buildings on the park, so that's how he got there. There's a athlete kid. There's another girl who is a social media influencer. Another one who, if I remember right, she said something. I think her family owns the company that supplies the meat that feeds the dinos, so that's why she's there. And then there's another kid who hates everything, is afraid of everything, gets boat sick, plane sick, car sick. Why are you even there? I mean, it's played for laughs, but at some point it's like, why is he even there? I mean, it's not like, no, I really like dinosaurs and I really want this, but gosh darn my stomach, I need my Dramamine. No, he seems to really hate everything, and I just don't understand why he's there. So we've got some variety in the characters, which is nice. The performances, as I said, are fine. But the characters' actions are dumb. Nothing makes any sense. A lot of the elements of the film, of the show, like I mentioned, video games and ziplining, were obviously put in there by people who have absolutely no experience with either. Again, if you can put video games or ziplining in your story, and you can change them however you want to service your narrative, but that's not what you did here. They're not unrealistic to serve the narrative. They're unrealistic clearly because you have no experience with them. There was no narrative reason to do that. It's just dumb. I did like that all the kids got their own bunks because Camp Cretaceous is supposed to, when it's up and running, service 500 kids at a time, which means there's a bunch of bunk beds, which means there's no reason for these kids to share bunks. So they all got their own bunk to themselves. That was a nice touch. So, nice attention to detail there. That was a good one. Like that. So, will Darius and pop color rich kid be eaten by raptors? No. No, I don't believe they will. How will they get out of that situation? I don't know. Maybe the gal on the upper balcony will hit the button and close the gate. Maybe the camp counselors will come in and save them at the last minute. I don't know. Will I watch episode 2 to find out? Yeah, it's got dinosaurs in it, so